1 Minute English.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our English learning story. Today, I will tell you a long story, a story about love, a story about mistakes, a story about waiting. This story is not short. It is not fast. It is slow, just like real life. Listen carefully, relax your mind, and let your brain think in English. This story will help you improve your listening, learn new words, and feel real emotions. Are you ready? Let me begin. My name is Elina Moore. I am not special. I am not rich. I am just a normal woman. Every day my life was the same. I woke up at 6 in the morning. I made coffee. I looked out of the window. Then I went to work. Work, home, sleep. That was my life. I worked in a small office. I had a desk, a computer, and many papers. People talked, phones rang, but inside I felt very quiet. Sometimes I asked myself a question: is this all? But I never said it out loud. One morning, everything changed. That morning, I was late, very late. I ran out of my apartment. I forgot my umbrella. I forgot my lunch. I only thought about time. I looked at my phone. Oh no! I ran down the street. My shoes hit the ground fast. My heart was beating fast too. I did not look left. I did not look right. I only looked at my phone. I was thinking, I am late. My boss will be angry. Then, suddenly, someone pulled my arm, hard. I felt my body move back. I lost my balance, and we both fell. Everything stopped. For 1 second, there was no sound. No cars, no people, only silence. I opened my eyes. A man was looking at me. His eyes were dark. His face was close. He said, "Are you okay?" I did not answer. I was still shocked. Then I said, "Yes, I think so." He helped me sit up. I looked at the road. A car passed fast. If he did not stop me, I would be dead. I looked at him again. I said, "Thank you. You saved my life." He smiled a little. He said, "You should be more careful." I felt embarrassed. I looked down. My coat was dirty. My hands were dirty. My dress had mud on it. "Oh no," I whispered. "My dress." He followed my eyes. He said, "I have a place nearby. You can clean yourself there." I looked at him. I did not know him, but I had no choice. I nodded. We walked together, not speaking. I could hear my heart. It was loud. We stopped in front of a small shop. It was a bookshop, a very small bookshop. The door was old. The window was full of books. Something felt warm. He opened the door. He said, "After you." The moment I entered, I felt something change. The air was warm. It smelled like paper, old paper, and coffee. Soft music was playing. The lights were yellow, not bright, not dark, just right. I felt calm, very calm. I forgot about time. I forgot about work. I forgot about being late. He said, "You can use the bathroom in the back." I said, "Thank you." I cleaned my hands. I cleaned my dress as much as I could. I looked at myself in the mirror. My face was red. My hair was messy. I took a deep breath. Calm down, I told myself. When I came back, he was standing behind the counter. He was holding a book. He looked up. He smiled. "You can sit," he said. I sat on a small chair. I looked around. Books everywhere, on shelves, on the floor, on the table. Some books were very old, some were new. I said, "This place is beautiful." He looked surprised. He said, "Thank you. Not many people say that." I asked, "Do you work here?" He smiled again. He said, "No, this place is my life." I did not understand. He added, "I own it." "Oh," I said, "that is nice." There was a short silence. Then he said, "My name is Daniel." I looked at him. "I am Elina," I said. "Nice to meet you, Elina," he said. He walked to a small coffee machine. He asked, "Coffee?" I wanted to say no, but my mouth said yes. He gave me a cup. It was warm. I held it with both hands. I took a small sip. It was soft, a little sweet, perfect. I smiled. For the first time that day, I smiled. I did not know it yet, but that moment was the beginning of everything. After that day, I went back to the bookshop. Not the next week, not the next month, the next day. I told myself, I just want coffee, nothing more. But deep inside, I knew it was not true. Daniel saw me. His face changed. He smiled. "You came back," he said. "Yes," I answered. "I like this place." He laughed softly. "I am glad," he said. That day we talked, not about big things, about books, about weather, about small moments, but it felt easy, very easy. I forgot to look at my phone. I forgot about time. When I stood up to leave, it was already dark. I felt surprised. "Time goes fast here," I said. Daniel nodded. "Yes," he said, "it always does." From that day, I went to the bookshop often, sometimes every day, sometimes just to sit, sometimes just to see him. We did not say it, but we both felt it. Something was changing, slowly, very slowly. One evening, he asked me a question. "Elina," he said, "why do you come here so often?" I froze. I did not know the answer. I looked at my hands. I said, "I feel calm here." He looked at me. He did not smile. He said softly, "So do I." Weeks passed. Our talks became longer. Our silences became comfortable. Sometimes we did not talk at all. We just sat, together. One night, it started to rain, hard. The street was empty. Daniel closed the shop. He looked at me. "It is too late," he said. "You should not go alone." I felt my heart beat faster. He continued, "I can walk you home." I nodded. We walked slowly. The rain was cold. The night was quiet. Our shoulders touched. I felt electricity. I felt scared and happy. When we reached my building, we stopped. Neither of us moved. Neither of us spoke. Then Daniel said, "Elina, there is something I need to say." I looked at him. My hands were shaking. "Yes?" I said. He took a deep breath. "I like you," he said. "More than I should, more than I planned." My heart felt full. I smiled. I said, "I like you too." He looked relieved. He smiled. That smile stayed in my memory forever. After that night, everything was different. We were not just friends. but we were not lovers yet. We were in between, and that place was dangerous. Beautiful, but dangerous. Because when you care, you can get hurt. I did not know it then, but love was already inside me, growing, quietly, waiting. After that night, we did not hide anymore. Daniel held my hand when we walked. I leaned on his shoulder when we sat. People saw us. They smiled. The bookshop felt different now, more alive, more warm. Sometimes Daniel read books out loud. I listened. Sometimes I read to him. He listened. Our voices mixed with the sound of turning pages. Those moments felt safe, very safe. One afternoon, Daniel closed the shop early. He said, "I want to show you something." We walked to a small park. There were trees, old trees. Birds sang softly. We sat on a bench. Daniel was quiet, too quiet. I looked at him. "Is everything okay?" I asked. He nodded, but he did not look at me. Then he took my hand. "Elina," he said. I was alone for a long time. I listened. He said, "I built my life around books, because books do not leave." My heart moved. He continued, "But you came, and everything changed." He looked at me now. His eyes were serious. "I do not want to lose you," he said. I felt tears in my eyes. He reached into his pocket. My breath stopped. "Elina," he said, "will you marry me?" The world went quiet. No birds, no wind, nothing. Only my heart. I smiled through tears. "Yes," I said softly. "Yes." He hugged me tight, very tight. That day, I believed my life was complete. The days passed fast, too fast. There were plans, there were lists, there were dresses and flowers. My best friend, Emma, helped me every day. She laughed, she cried, she said, "You are the luckiest woman." I believed her. The wedding day came. I woke up early. My heart was light. I looked in the mirror. I was smiling without trying. "This is it," I whispered, "my new life." The ceremony was beautiful. White flowers, soft music. Daniel stood there, waiting for me. When our eyes met, he smiled. That smile, the same smile from the bookshop. He held my hands. He said, "You are my home." I said, "You are mine." People clapped. I felt safe. I felt chosen. But something strange happened. Just before we left, I heard a sound, a soft sound, at the door. I looked down. An envelope was on the floor. I picked it up. No name, no words, just white paper. Emma called, "Elina, we are late." I looked at the envelope. My heart felt strange, heavy. I put it in my bag. I will read it later, I told myself. That night, I did not read it. I was too happy. I did not know that happiness was standing on very thin glass. 5 days passed. 5 quiet days. Daniel went to work every morning. I stayed home. I cleaned, I cooked, I waited. I told myself, this is happiness. But something inside me felt uneasy. I did not know why. One afternoon, there was a knock at the door. I opened it. No one was there. The hallway was empty, but on the floor, there was an envelope. My heart stopped, just for 1 second. I picked it up. My hands were shaking. I opened the envelope. Inside, there was a letter. It said, "I warned you on your wedding day. You did not listen. Daniel is not a good man. Leave him now, or you will regret it." I could not breathe. My chest felt tight. Then, suddenly, I remembered. The first envelope. The one in my bag. I ran to the bedroom. I opened my bag. I pulled it out. Inside, there was another letter and photos. I read the letter slowly. "Please do not trust him. He hurt me. He left me without a word. He will do the same to you." My eyes moved to the photos. Daniel, with another woman. They were close, too close, smiling, holding hands. My vision blurred. My heart felt cold, very cold. I sat on the bed. I did not cry. I could not. I called Daniel. My hands were numb. He answered. "Elina?" he said. I did not greet him. I said, "What are these photos?" There was silence, long silence. Then he spoke. "Elina, please, let me explain." My voice was calm, too calm. "Explain what?" I asked. He said, "It is not what it looks like. I love you." I closed my eyes. Love. That word hurt the most. I said, "I do not want explanations. I do not want excuses. This is over." That night, I packed my bags. Daniel came home late. He stood at the door. He looked small, broken. "Elina," he said, "please." I did not look at him. I walked past him. I closed the door behind me. I did not turn back. Outside, the air was cold, but inside, I felt empty. Not angry, not sad, just empty. 1 year passed. A new city, a new apartment, a new job, a new life. People said, "You are strong." I smiled. But every night, when the world was quiet, Daniel came back into my thoughts. I tried to forget. I failed. Some loves do not end. They only hide. Another year passed. I lived. I worked. I smiled. But part of me was still missing. One day, my boss called me. "Elina," he said, "we need you to go to Portland for a business meeting." Portland. The word hit my chest. That city. The city where everything began. I wanted to say no, but I did not. I said, "Yes." I went with my coworker, Lily. The meeting ended early. After that, we walked near the station. Lily said, "I am hungry. Wait here, I will be back." She left. I stood alone. The streets, the buildings, the air, everything felt familiar. My feet started moving before my mind could stop them. I walked. I knew where I was going. The bookshop was gone. In its place, there was a small store. My heart dropped. A man stood outside. I asked, "Excuse me, there was a bookshop here. Do you know the owner?" His name was Daniel. The man looked at me. His face changed. "Ah, Daniel," he said. "Poor man." I felt cold. "What happened?" I asked. The man said, "After his wife left, he changed. He closed the bookshop. He gave the books to the children. Sometimes he comes here. He stands and waits. He once told me, 'If she ever comes back, tell her I am sorry. Tell her I still love her.'" Tears filled my eyes. I could not speak. Then I heard a voice behind me. "Elina?" I turned. It was Lily. She looked at my face, then at the store. She went very quiet. "Elina, do you know Daniel?" I said, Yes, he was my husband. Lily closed her eyes. Oh no, she whispered. Elina, I need to tell you something. My heart knew before my ears did. She said, Daniel was my boyfriend years ago. I was jealous. I was selfish. When I heard he was getting married, I sent the letters, the photos. I wanted to stop the wedding. I did not know it was you. The world fell silent. Everything made sense. The letters, the photos, the silence. I felt sick. I asked the shop owner, "Where is Daniel now?" He said softly, "Sometimes he sleeps here, sometimes on the street, but I have not seen him for months." Months. I could not breathe. That moment, I made a decision. I stayed in Portland. I looked for him. Every street, every cafe, every corner. I asked people. I waited. I hoped. I remembered how he waited for me, night after night. Now it was my turn. I will not stop, because love that is real does not disappear. It waits. This is not the end of our story. This is only the beginning.